All right, we got my buddy Curtis. Welcome to the Corner Store podcast platform, man. How you doing?
Not too bad. Yourself?
I'm good, man. I figured that the playoffs are just underway, and we're gonna talk some Patriots, man. So, what are the state of the Patriots? What are they gonna do start next year?
We're gonna make the playoffs.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
And that tough division?
So the state of the Patriots, what are you asking? Like, are they
Okay.
building? What are they doing?
I would assume that they're in a rebuilding mode because first of all, they need to find a quarterback. So
Okay.
obviously Cam wasn't the answer. I mean, is Cam really shot or was he still battling injuries? And plus he had COVID early in the year. So
You did.
maybe COVID affected him, throughout the whole entire season.
I would not be opposed to them bringing Cam back for a year.
Really? Okay.
I They got to give him weapons.
Mm-hmm.
A good team stacked the line against them, and they couldn't run, and they had no receivers. They had no tight ends.
Oh
Um,
yeah, the team was
so
decimated. Yeah.
Yeah, so Jacoby Myers is like the only receiver who got any catches all season long.
Yeah,
And
Myers was good. He came up
and
huge. Bird was pretty good.
Bird was good, but you're talking it's Jacoby Myers and Bird. That's
Yeah.
who
Yeah. Yeah,
think
you're
about
number
that.
one and number two receivers with really no tight end. Y'all had
Uh,
who was y'all tight end?
we had those two rookies that never played, and every once in a while we threw an offensive lineman out there to block, and it was
Oh.
horrendous. It was horrendous. Now I know what the Bears feel
Well, at least we made the playoffs.
like.
You know what? Despite the score yesterday, the game was a lot closer than what you saw as far as the final score.
Right.
Because the Bears had chances to at least take the lead, and things fell apart. I mean, like a lot of blown coverages. It just like the defense just wasn't attention to detail.
Right.
Markel Smith, he was hurt, so like the backup linebacker, he would just blowing his assignments and shit. So, I mean, they was literally scoring at will. Like every time they got to the red zone, there was a touchdown. When we get to the red zone, it's a field goal.
We
So
never got to the red zone.
y'all never got to the red zone.
I felt like every Patriot game I watched, I was like, okay, here we go, 3-and-out,
Mm.
3-and-out.
I, I
Cam,
I remember like those first 2 or 3 games. I mean, I believe y'all were like undefeated at the time, right?
jeez, now you're asking stats. I don't think we were undefeated. I think we lost a game, and then we lost to the Chiefs in a close one. Um,
Y'all lost
but
to
I
Seattle
think
in a close
I
one.
think we were 1-3. To
Really?
start I believe so. Don't quote me. But like they were all like good games. And then we beat Oakland, and then then we went on that. Are we going to make the playoffs? Are we not going to make the playoffs? Are we going to make the playoffs? And then
Mm-hmm.
Cam got COVID, and Stidham wasn't the answer, and
Mm-hmm.
it was N'Keal Harry wasn't the answer. So it was tough. It was so quarterbacks. I bring back Cam unless somebody like Deshaun Watson falls into our lap, which Bill O'Brien's gone, so he's not making dumb trades anymore. So that might not happen. I heard that there was a rumor that they were thinking about bringing Gase and Darnold over from the Jets together, and have Gase be like the quarterback coach and Sam Darnold be the quarterback.
Hmm.
I'm not opposed to that, but I don't want to go
Okay.
out. I don't want to sign Stafford or
Yeah, that's what I'm
Wentz.
hearing.
I don't want any of that crap, because now you're like paying a ton of money for a guy who's not the answer. You know what I'm saying? Like
And
you
plus, y'all
bring
don't
back,
have any weapons.
we don't have any weapons, so you bring back
Yeah.
Cam, you give him another season. He's got that locker room. Everybody respects him. Nobody has anything bad to say. He was a model citizen, and the whole time people were fighting. He didn't go up there after the bad games and blame
He
somebody
didn't
else.
pout, right?
He didn't pout. He just went out there, and he was. I don't know. I don't know if you're going to have a bridge quarterback. Talent-wise, Cam's probably not the best bridge quarterback, but
Mm-hmm.
he could do worse. I You could
I
do
mean,
worse.
I
He's
think
gonna be
he's a decent bridge quarterback. I mean, he is a former league MVP. I mean, he can't throw the ball down the field. He's not accurate, but he can't throw the ball down the field, and he's a dual threat.
you gotta give him a receiver. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like give him
yeah.
something. I look what Randy Moss did for Dante Culpepper. Like it's
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
give Cam one receiver, a guy who stretched the field, somebody that the defense can't just like play up on the line and stop the Patriots' one strength, which was running this season. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I said, Deshaun Watson is a pipe dream. Sam Darnold and Adam Gase coming over together is kind of tantalizing,
Mm-hmm.
but past that, I don't know. I don't want to do bridge quarterback next year, bridge quarterback next year, bridge quarterback next year, bridge quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, as far everything other than his performance on the field, Cam impressed me.
I
He
heard that I heard that Jimmy G's name was out there too.
you've had him in fantasy. Hey, do you really want him as your quarterback? The
You
dude
know,
can't
no, I had him
play.
last year.
Oh, yeah, I might have had Cam for like 11 years, but uh, Jimmy G can't stay on the field.
Yes, yes. He's
And
very fragile. Yeah.
so now you got Jimmy G. You still got the same problem, like
He
what you
needs that TB12 program. That's what he needs.
have. No comment.
Now, between Brady and Belichick, who won in the long run? I mean, we're only one season removed from him leaving New England. Do you think that at let's say 5 years from now, who's going to have a better overall like record as far as like okay, like as far as team success? Did they make the playoffs? Did they possibly win Super Bowls? Do you think Brady's going to win that battle?
5 years from now, you think Brady's still playing?
I mean, if Brady was to play 2 more years, and if he was to get one Super Bowl out of it, and Belichick make the playoffs, let's say maybe 1 year out of 4 years,
So
then obviously Brady will win that battle.
so looking at what we were just talking about, the Patriots' weapons.
Okay.
How many more wins this season do we have if we sign Brady?
Well, we say it again.
Looking at what we were just talking about with the Patriots' weapons,
Mm-hmm.
their receivers, no tight ends, nothing. We bring back Brady. How many more wins do we have this season?
Cam lost y'all 2 games already,
Okay,
so he would have won you at least 10 because
10.
Brady was the king of winning more with less.
But this was less than what he's ever had. There's no Edelman. Burkhead was out for big chunks of the game. Like Damian Harris came on late. That's all we had. James White was out. There was nothing. It was Bird and Jacoby Myers and N'Keal Harry every once in a while would have a good game or a good play, but Bird was like running the wrong routes, and
Mm-hmm.
it was just Jacoby Myers. It was this was less than what Brady's ever had.
Now, what was Julian's injury?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
The Patriots don't tell you.
Okay. All right. So hypothetically, um, Julian was fairly a healthy guy throughout Tom's tenure there, right?
Yep.
Now with Cam there, they had to literally like revamp their whole offense. Maybe the revamp kind of made them more injury prone because maybe Julian's blocking more. Maybe he's not running as many routes like he used to because he knows he going to get about 12 targets a game. So it was just a different game that he was playing when he was with Cam. So maybe that's why he got whatever injury that he had, and you had Burkhead and Sonny Michelle. He was banged up, I guess, prior to the season starting, and he got COVID. Then he was still banged up, so it was just not as
But you
consistent.
understand what I'm saying? Like you're saying maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
This is the worst crew this is the worst offensive crew that the Patriots had in a lot of time. Now, if
So yeah,
Brady comes back, maybe Bill tries to go trade for Golden Tate or tries to trade for like some older receiver like he's done in the past where sometime Larry Fish, well, Larry went to, but maybe he does something like that. Maybe he goes out and spends the money on a Hunter Henry or Austin Cooper, but it's just basically the cupboard was bare.
I mean, he had Demarius Thomas, but he let him go. He's a Super Bowl champion. You could have got Emmanuel Sanders.
That was a over Sanu. That was a bad.
Yeah.
That was a bad move. That was I think, but every NFL team has those woulda, shoulda, couldas. I made the mistake. I don't know. I think it was the correct time for Belichick and Brady to part ways.
Now, with these rebuilds, how long is Belichick going to last? Is he just going to retire after a certain amount of time and then just let McDaniels just take over? I mean, because I don't think Bill is a rebuilding coach. I mean, he's used to winning these past 20 years. How long would he stick around?
I think that Kraft is going to allow him to stay as long as he wants.
Okay. No, I'm saying, okay, Kraft will do that, but with Bill the way he is, the way he wants to win, especially sticking to Tom Brady, he wants to win without Tom Brady. How long would he just, cut bait, like, you know what? I had a good run. I'm not going to win with these guys. And that team in Buffalo, I mean, they're going to be here for a while. I mean, all their guys is pretty much on rookie deals. The only one that has a big contract is Stephon Diggs.
So here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen with Buffalo. Josh Allen's going to go get that huge rookie contract or that huge second contract, like what happened with Seattle with Russell Wilson, like what happened with Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. And then next thing you know, the Legion of Boom is gone. And Aaron Rodgers is now playing with no first round receivers ever. It's So Josh Allen is going to go there. He's going to get that huge contract. And then the Diggses are going to disappear. That doesn't mean Josh Allen's not going to be great. Does not mean that team's not going to be good, but there's a benefit to having a quarterback on a rookie deal.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what Buffalo's got right now. As soon as the quarterback goes out there and gets that $24 to $30 million a year contract, depth's gone. Position players start getting traded away. So
if you think about it, in the last 20 years, how many quarterbacks won Super Bowls on rookie deals? It seemed like that's like the best formula to win a Super Bowl because Mahomes did it.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson did it.
Yeah. Russell Wilson took him to another one.
Right. Exactly.
They were able to pay. They were able to pay all those defensive players. They were able to have the weapon. But as soon as Russell Wilson, and I'm not blaming Russell Wilson at all. Like, go get your money. You know what I'm saying? Like, but as soon as Russell Wilson signs that $30 million contract, now you're not paying the Bennetts and the Shermans and the stuff like that, the guys who made that defense. So Pete Carroll's been great about replacing those players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's another thing that Tomlin's always been able to do in Pittsburgh. He can go lose a guy. Like, how many Pittsburgh receivers have just been like boom, 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 just all the way down? I just feel like it's
since Hines Ward. I mean, you had Hines Ward, Antonio Brown, Emmanuel Sanders,
Smith Schuster. Like, it's just
I feel like
there's always a receiver ready to take over. There's always a linebacker ready to take over for that linebacker that leaves. There's always a running back ready to take over for that next running back. But I think Bill Belichick is going to stick around until he succeeds again, or until his 30-year-old girlfriend tells him he's done.
She's 30?
Well, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but she's not. she's not his age.
Is it that Jets employee?
I don't know. I just know that he's.
Remember, he was messing with some Jets front office girl doing the whole.
I couldn't I know that he's walking around. I know that he's like seen on the beaches.
Oh, really?
There's pictures of him on the beaches with.
Does he even smile on the beach?
You're on the beach with a girl 30 years younger than you. I assume you're smiling, right?
I mean, I hardly ever seen him smile. I mean, how old are Kraft's girlfriends?
I was going to make a joke, but I'm not going to.
Oh, okay. All right.
Uh,
Well, all right. Back to the Patriots.
all right.
I know they draft 15th in
Okay.
the upcoming draft. So, what was the number one need you think that they would probably need to fill? I mean, like assuming if Cam comes back
I think that
and oh, sorry, go ahead.
that's a good question. I think the number one spot that the New England Patriots would fill going into this draft is take the draft out of Bill Belichick's hands.
Yeah, but he's
He,
been doing this his whole career.
he has, but he's horrendous at drafting skilled positions. He's great at trading down, trading down, trading down, trading down, and acquiring multiple draft picks, then going and picking up 6 linebackers out of Alabama, 4 defensive backs out of Rutgers, two offensive linemen out of Florida, and 2 more out of Fresno State, and then you end up with 4 starters of that group. But it's
Okay.
linebackers, defensive backs, offensive linemen. You know what I'm
Did he
saying?
ever
Like,
did he ever draft a kicker in the first round?
no, no, that was
How high? How high was that?
uh,
I remember Oakland doing it.
yeah, Oakland went back to back with Janikowski and then the punter. Like they win, Janikowski 1, punter 2. Whoa, punter 2. Like that's
Any GM that does that should be fired.
great.
That's like somebody doing that in fantasy football. I mean, you just don't do that in fantasy football. So if you're doing it in real life, then you shouldn't have a job like that.
In theory, right?
Right,
So,
right.
yeah, but but that kicker and that punter were around for 17 years.
Yeah, I
And
know. I know, but
Janikowski's not a Hall of Famer, but the punter's going to go in the Hall of Fame. So I don't know. There's 3 aspects to each football team. You dominate one, I don't know. But yeah, you're right. A first and second. But it'd be interesting to go back and look at that draft that they went back to back on those guys, and then seeing how many teams whiffed on their first and second and got nothing for them. You know what I'm saying?
okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That's the Patriots, in what I can remember, and don't quote me, most of the time, like this last draft, I was so mad. There hasn't been sports for months. They're finally gonna like put the draft on live, right? And you're sitting there, and I'm sitting
Did
there
he draft the tight end?
No, he traded out of it, but he waited until like the 27th pick to trade out of it into the second round. Didn't even draft. Me and my boys were just sitting there the whole time going for like 3.5 hours, and then they traded out of it, and they didn't. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me! And that's what they do. That's what he does. He trades, acquires 9 second-round draft picks, and then just drafts a bunch of offensive linemen and linebackers.
Wow.
But then one year he kept 2 first rounders, and he took Lawrence Maroney.
He ended up, being pretty good for like a 2-3 year period.
Yeah, but everybody's got a Lawrence Maroney. If you're going to hold on to your number 1 pick that you never hold on to, it can't be Lawrence Maroney. And then I can't remember who the other one was. It was kind of a nobody. And then this couple of years ago, they held on to Sony Michel. They held on to 2 picks and took Sony Michel and that Isaiah Wynn. And Wynn can't see the field. And Sony Michel's got 8 running backs running in the NFL that were drafted after him who were way better. So,
well, at least he won you a game-winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. So that's his claim to fame.
Yeah, well, that's very optimistic of you.
I mean, but it happened though.
It did happen. It's very optimistic. When you've watched so many Super Bowl wins, though, you forget those 1 plays.
You know what? Yes, I know how y'all feel. I was just as spoiled being a Bulls fan because, but the difference is, I was like in grade school and high school,
right,
doing a Bulls run, so I had nothing but time but to just watch 82 games a year and the playoffs. So I mean, I was literally just watching every single game. But as far as you gotten older, you working, you got kids, and so much shit is going on. So, but I maybe I felt more entitled because I just expected for them to win every single year.
The Bulls.
Yeah, and once that shit was done, I was like, damn.
That,
I mean, we're actually still waiting for a championship. So, I mean, Derrick Rose was like our closest chance, but unfortunately, he faced LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh in 2011. Yeah, 2011.
yeah, yeah, I don't know if we want to get in the NBA. Well, I can say what angers me about the NBA, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think Bill's gonna leave until I don't think Bill will leave until he's successful again. Whether that will ever happen, but he's
Mm-hmm.
never gonna throw in the towel. I don't think he ever will. I don't think he's the type of guy who would retire well. You know what I'm saying? And I
Mm-hmm.
don't think he's the type of guy who would retire well, especially going out a loser. So yeah, I don't think he wants to fail. So he'll probably cheat again.
Well, that's that's predicated how well Brady does.
Yeah.
That
In,
may make
in
him stay longer.
4 years, there'll be another scandal after after we win a couple Super Bowls.
Yeah, I mean, you were so mad at us for like bringing it up at work. I mean, it really kind of got it got under your skin, as far as us calling the Patriots cheaters. I mean, you was really upset about that.
I was upset with the Deflategate. Because
Okay.
I thought that was fabricated. I've always said Spygate was real, but that was everybody in the NFL was doing it. The commissioner sent out a memo saying, knock it off. And then Mangini said, well, the Patriots are still doing it. Like, I thought, so that was real. Don't get me wrong. I thought they got punished a little bit harshly than what they, but again, I'm biased. Deflategate was BS. Absolutely BS.
Well,
Dude, I parked my car outside 3 nights ago when it was freezing. I get in, all my tires said air pressure low. I'm serious. That was a BS. It was a BS scandal. BS.
well, Brady should have been more forthcoming. I mean, when they asked to see his phone, he wouldn't show his phone.
Dude, since I've been divorced, if somebody asked me to see my phone, I wouldn't let them. I have stuff
Why
on my
not?
phone. I don't have
Why
stuff
not?
I don't want people to see.
I'm sure you had nothing to show. But yeah, I mean, Brady, I mean, to me, in my opinion, if he had nothing to hide,
Okay.
if he had nothing to hide, then what was the issue of just showing him the phone? Because all he had to do was like go to his messages. They wasn't gonna go to his pictures or his emails or his text messages. I mean, they want to see his text messages as far as with him and the ball boy, right?
I don't remember.
You don't
I
remember?
think it all came down to that one guy saying, you can't disprove that all this stuff, and then Goodell hammered on him.
And don't forget, y'all had someone on staff that had the nickname the Deflator.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, it was just so many smoking guns. Y'all just couldn't really just like get away from it. I mean,
Right.
but I mean, like the whole team was just being standoffish. They wasn't being honest about, all the questions that was coming their way. So no wonder why like the whole league just kind of like, they just went scorched earth on the Patriots because this wasn't their first go round as far as, like a cheating scandal.
Well, and that's I liken it to as a Red Sox fan with the Yankees during that run with like A-Rod, Giambi, like where they just kept winning World Series every single year. As a Red Sox fan, I was like,
not with A-Rod though.
I'm sorry, before that, but
Jeter,
as a Red Sox fan, I was like, they're cheating, only to find out the Red Sox were too, and every other team in the NFL was, or the Major League Baseball was. Like,
how about they cheating?
Steroids.
Oh, okay.
But here I am going, look at the Yankees.
Yeah, look at Big Papi.
as Nomar Garcia-Parra is showing up like skinny as a rail one year and just rip the next. I'm like, he worked out. This guy, Knobloch's a cheater, you know, like so I think everybody wants to look like it's the whole Houston Astros thing with the sign stealing stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I bet you there's 28 teams stealing signs. But the Astros had started to get success. They started to get the success, and now all of a sudden, bang, they're the ones busted.
No, stealing signs wasn't illegal. It was using technology to do it.
Correct.
That was illegal.
But like 5 other teams got busted doing it, and they got told not to do it. But
but unfortunately, they did it in the biggest stage, and
right.
like
there was a pretty big. But all I'm saying is, what I'm saying about the whole Astros things and the Yankees things and the Patriots things. You're an idiot to believe that that's the only team doing that thing.
Oh no, I would never say that.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I would never say that.
The Yankees, you're an idiot to believe that the Yankees was the only team using steroids. And you're an idiot to believe that the Astros is the only team using technology to steal signs. And you're an idiot to believe that the New England Patriots had the only quarterback that was take a little air out of this ball or put a little more air in this ball. You know, you're an idiot to believe that wasn't going around. Idiot. Aaron Rodgers even said he liked his
overinflated. Yeah.
You know, and nobody's going after Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, as far as Aaron Rodgers, like you play in Green Bay, like the frozen tundra, and you rather have your balls overinflated. I mean, what the fuck, man?
Monster hands.
Right. That guy's too fucking good, man. That's why I hate him for even saying something like that. I'm like, damn, Aaron, did you have to say that?
Yeah, he goes, I go over the limit.
All right. Yeah. So what's your prediction for the playoffs? Are you going to root for any AFC East teams?
So the only AFC East team that I hate with a passion is the Jets.
Really?
Yeah. I think the problem is
because of Mangini.
Okay. And not just Mangini, like the whole Parcells, you know, hopping on a plane after that Super Bowl in Green Bay and not even flying back with the Patriots, you know, like flying it. And so just the whole, and probably the same way that the Jets hate the Patriots because Belichick took the job with the Jets and 3 days later he said, I'm just kidding, and took the job with the Patriots. So, I don't know. The only one I hate is the Jets, but I do think it's a little bit because the Patriots have dominated those teams for so long that I don't even know they exist. Now I do. Not like, but
hey, easy now, because remember Rex Ryan beat y'all in Foxborough one year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So,
1 year.
Yeah, I know, but you know, but still, if the Jets is this tiny little team who can't beat anybody, but they did beat y'all in the playoffs with Mark Sanchez.
It was Chad Pennington.
No, that was Sanchez.
No, I think it was Chad Pennington. I could be wrong, but I think there was a stat out there that Chad Pennington for a while was the only AFC East quarterback to beat the Patriots, maybe at home or like in something, and he did it with the Dolphins and the Jets. I don't think Sanchez beat us. I could be wrong.
This was I want to say 2010. Because remember, the Jets beat the Indy, and then they beat you all, but they lost to the Steelers, and then the Steelers ended up losing to the Packers in the Super Bowl. So that was Mark Sanchez at quarterback. Because Pennington played under I believe it was Mangini and I believe at the end of Herm Edwards' tour.
2010.
Yeah, that was Mark Sanchez.
The Jets beat the Patriots in the playoffs, you said?
Yeah, at Foxborough. As a matter of fact, I'll pull it up and I'll share my screen.
First of all, I will believe you because I play fantasy football with you, and you
I'm
have
heinous.
seen how awful my betting was this year.
You know what? I believe there's a correlation between as far as pre kids and after kids as far as fantasy football.
Well,
Like
I do.
pre kids, I was in the playoffs every year. I was competitive. Since
You're,
kids, I can't do anything.
I actually printed out the standings of the two leagues that me and you were in together, and I was going to show them to your where you fell in the standings on both those leagues to
Uh-huh.
your listeners, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to be that mean.
Uh, let me see.
Um, I think pre kids you're all in, young kids you struggle. Now my boys are getting into it, and I'm kind of back. You know what I'm saying? Like when
Right.
kids get a little bit older, you it's fun again. But I know exactly like Chloe and Pilar, they're not excited for you to play fantasy football, and I assume your wife isn't excited for you to play fantasy football.
You
And
know what? Just to add insult to injury, our fantasy football draft is literally always around her birthday. Her birthday is September 2nd.
right, is
So
that why
that's why she hates it.
is that why you bring ginger beer
Yeah.
and then leave them in my fridge?
Because I have to drive literally like an hour, 15 minutes from your house to my house. So I can't get shit faced. So and plus I gotta get back home to like two little kids. So I can't get a wreck.
No, I got four.
Well,
I, I always drafted Lincoln, but okay, you're looking it up.
yeah, I got it. I got it.
Were
All right,
you
we
right?
got oh yeah. Actually want me to share it?
No, I believe you.
Okay. All right, here we go. It is January 16th, 2011 at Gillette Stadium. The score was 28 Jets, 21 Patriots. Yeah, 2011.
And there was Sanchez.
Yeah, Mark Sanchez completed 16 to 25 passes for 194 yards and 3 touchdowns to lead the Jets to victory, avenging a 45-3 loss to New England in December. So yeah, Mark Sanchez was the quarterback.
Okay, I believe you. Nice work. That's why you have a podcast and I don't.
I mean,
I
I,
just
I mean, I know a little bit about sports. I mean, I try to be well rounded. So how's life? Hopefully we get back into our normal schedules.
when do you think that's going to be?
I'm thinking late spring, early summer.
Are you getting sick and tired of these schedules?
Deep down, yes.
I am too.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I don't know how to change it. I can't get off my schedule and then keep my schedule with my kids. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But by that fourth day, those fourth mids, I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then I come right home to e-learning, and now I'm like driving kids to like their piano lessons and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like a pick your poison. I mean, do you want to be so tired doing the mids, but like once you're off, then you just all over the place. So,
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
Chloe was off for the past couple of weeks for the holiday vacation, and I mean, but having them at home all day, and Cassie went back to work about a month ago. So I'm like, will this ever end? So, and plus Pilar, she's not two yet, so she can't wear a mask, so that's why she's not in school yet. So, Chloe went back to school today, and once I got home, I was on baby duty. I took Pilar with me to pick up Chloe from school. Got home, cooked dinner, and got them ready for bed. So, yeah, I mean, because after 8 o'clock, that's when I get like a little bit more energy because like as long as I'm on baby watch, it's like my energy
Yeah.
and then once they're in bed, then I start to get like a natural pickup.
Do
So
you? It was funny. Like I told my kids that at 8:15 I got to go in. I got to do a thing with Lincoln. So I
yeah.
was driving back from Mallory's tumbling. This was like 35 minutes ago, and I'm like yawning, and I'm like, does Lincoln know how late this is? But then I then I cracked this, and I'm like, okay, let's do this. But yeah, there was a second there, Lincoln, where I was like, 8:15. What's his problem? But
Yeah, because you had sent me your schedule. I figured that. I mean, everything was clear after what 7:30, right?
yes.
So
At least
my
you have a nice, at least you have a
my
nice background.
what's that?
At least you have a nice background.
It's a green screen.
Oh, is it? I was like
Yeah.
looking at mine. I'm like, oh crap! I probably should have cleaned that up a little bit.
It's a green screen.
I got towels over my chair, and
I mean, it looks homely and professional, so it looked like a shrink's office.
it is. So I'm glad you say that, because sometimes after this Patriots season, I felt like I need a shrink.
Oh man. So you know what? Maybe like the positive thing about this schedule is that at least some Sundays I am home, depending on how the schedule falls. So at least I could kind of get to watch football all day. But I get those Sundays where I have like, 3 to 11, 2 to 10, like,
Yeah.
damn.
Well,
And,
that's so usually my Sunday schedule is 2 to 10.
right.
So
Right.
I've actually had Sundays off to watch football. So excited. And I'll turn on the TV, and it'll be Bears and whoever they're playing, and the Packers and whoever they're playing. I'll be like, I guess we're gonna go guess we're gonna do the Red Zone channel. And then I said the Red Zone channel, and I don't know, but the Patriots are they'll like flash the Patriots. The Patriots are down 21-3, and then I'll look at my fantasy football team, and I'll be like, ugh, and I'll turn off the TV and like go find something else to do.
Why don't you get the Sunday tickets where you can actually watch the Patriots game?
Because this was the only football season that was off on Sundays.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Usually I work from 2 to 10. I watch a little of the noon game, head to work, and then watch whatever's, I can on my breaks. Like it's made no sense for me to get the Sunday ticket.
Now, would the kids watch the games if you was to have that type of service?
I don't have them Sundays.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I don't have them Sundays. Usually Xavier and Josh. Luke follows, but not as. But Xavier and Josh will text me throughout the day about what's going on, like how good their fantasy team is doing, like how good the Patriots are doing. So I know that they're watching over there, but
okay. So. And what you get for Secret Santa?
I have not gotten my gift yet.
Really?
Yeah, but the person who got it for me apologized.
Who was it?
Jake.
Oh, really?
So he had a puzzle of Lake Champlain made, but orders were backed up, and then the postal service, and so he finally like texted me and goes, "Sorry, man." So I know it's coming. I know what it is. I haven't got it. What'd you get?
Whoever had me gave me a good gift. It was like a at home golf driver kit.
Okay.
Where it was like a big net where I can kind of like just like hit the driver like pretty much anywhere.
You golf?
Yeah, I'm picking it up a little bit.
A little bit.
I mean, like, what would you even ask me that? It's because I'm black?
No. I think
you was like, you golf?
I think that the world has proven that black dudes can golf. I asked you that because when we used to hang out together, you didn't. So when you said you picked it up, you know what I'm saying? Like 5 years ago when we were working the same schedule, you didn't golf.
Now, 5 years ago I didn't, but I've been trying to get you to play Top Golf for a while. I mean,
I thought that was just a drink. I didn't know that was like like a thing you were practicing. I thought that was just something you were like, let's go play Top Golf.
You see, like when I went for the first time, like a few years ago, like prior to Chloe even being here.
And I'm gonna interrupt you a little bit. When I joined the military, when I was in the military playing basketball, people were shocked that I could play basketball. So I kind of know where you were just like, I know that feeling that you just had, like when I said, you golf? Like, I would go out there and I would play, and somebody's like, that guy can play basketball. So
Oh
I
yeah,
know.
because actually, you know what? Chloe was maybe 4 months old at the time when I went to Top Golf for the first time, and I didn't know how to swing a club. So what happened was like that next week after I played for the first time, I went down the street where I had the baby shower at. I hired
Yep.
like a golf instructor to teach me how to swing a golf club, and ever since I learned, I love going to Top Golf. I went to the driving range just to hit some balls, and I like it. It's more kind of like therapeutic, and just to get out there in the fresh air and hit some balls down the drainer. And I played golf, like a full game of golf with Joe at that same golf course, like maybe 3 years ago. And I played with Drew and his wife. We played 9 holes. Sometime after that. I played golf in South Carolina at
Okay.
Hilton Head.
What do
Then I
you?
played.
What's your score?
Oh, I'm terrible. I really don't keep score, so
Okay.
I just do it for the experience.
So you
And
don't. I'm just
what's
kidding.
up?
So you don't golf. I'm just kidding. Uh, I golfed a ton in the military.
Oh, okay.
And then growing up, me, Dole, my brother, and Travis had like we had, we were part of the St. Johnsbury, like we had memberships to the St. Johnsbury golf course. Uh, but did I ever tell you the story about Chris Evans going away party?
No.
Do you remember Chris Evans? Was he
Yeah.
gone before you got there?
Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
So it's his going away party, and they're gonna go golf. And I'm like, let's do it. And so I pound like 7 beers before they pick me up, and they pick me up. I'm hammered, and they're all like serious. They're all excited to go golf, and I'm like, wait, this is serious. And so luckily, Hedrick and Takashi were ready to party too. So they stuck the 3 of us in the far back, like we were the 3 that brought up the end. And I was stumbling all over the place. And I went to go swing, and my club opened, the face opened, the ball hit the little like partition at the tee. It went back, came back, smacked me in the ankle. I still have a little mark in my ankle where it hit me. I stumbled back and then rolled my ankle on the other side of the tee box, and then fell on my back. And then Hedrick jumped on me, and I said, "I'm done. I'm out. I'm
Oh
retired."
wow.
That was the last time. That was the last time I actively golfed. It was
Wow.
awful, Lincoln. Absolutely awful.
Wow. Well, the last time I played was in Cabo for Eric's wedding. We played 9 holes, and this is literally
When was his wedding?
his wedding was September of 2018.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it was fairly, yeah.
That's a while ago.
I'm still thinking, I'm still thinking it's 2020. So, oh yeah, Happy New Year, man. Happy New Year.
You too. It's about
Did
time, right?
Yeah, no. Like, did you have any like plans?
For
Did you have the mid?
I had the mid.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, we took the girls to Lincoln Park to see the lights. And then once we got home, got them ready for bed, and then we saw like the Dick Clark New Year's Rockin' Eve,
Okay.
and then we just called it a night. So
Did they both stay up for it?
the girls,
Yeah.
no, because we usually lay them down around 8 o'clock. I think we got
Oh,
home.
you don't let them try and stay awake?
No,
They're still pretty young.
yeah, they don't care about New Year's. They just care about Christmas. Well, at least Chloe does. So, but
How was your
yeah.
Christmas, by the way?
Oh, it was good. Man, I was so exhausted that for that swing shift because I got up early to make some brunch food.
Okay.
So then once we got them up, we fed them because we actually put all their presents downstairs and hid it from them. Like at first we had their presents under the tree, and then like around Christmas Eve, we took their presents downstairs, and then Chloe was kind of bummed out because she thought someone took them, whatever. So Christmas morning, we took them downstairs after they ate, and she was all surprised, shocked, and happy. And we basically had them open up their gifts, and I was cleaning up after them because it was a freaking mess in the basement.
Yeah,
I
right.
was assembling stuff. I was making sure toys had batteries, and I was playing with stuff with them. And by the time I got ready for work and got to work, I mean, I was a zombie. I mean, I needed a couple of naps just to catch up to finish off the shift because man, I was tired. I mean, is this how Christmas is going to be like from now on with at least two kids now?
Uh, so so they come over. So we still do a Secret Santa.
Okay.
As opposed to like Xavier buying presents for Josh, Luke, mommy, daddy, Mallory. You just pick the name out of the hat. So we all just do that. So then Emily comes over for dinner. We do the Secret Santa, and then Emily takes the kids over for Christmas Eve, and then I had the rest of the night. I finished wrapping a few things. I put everything out. If all of a sudden it's like I'm getting a little tired, I'm like, you know what? I got tomorrow morning, and I just go take a nap, and then like I get up, and I'm just like I finished doing what I gotta do. Everything's all set, and then they don't come over till like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So like
Okay.
there's no stress of getting everything out at night. So
Now, what age where you're comfortable with like on Christmas morning, your kids can wake up and kind of like do their own thing? Like, what's the perfect age in which you can kind of like you could like sleep in and kind of like let them open up their gifts and just do their own thing, their own plan or whatever.
I think I think it will be older for Chloe than it will be for Pilar, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I feel like Mallory was doing stuff at a much younger age than Josh was. You know what I'm saying? Because Mallory had watched Josh and Luke. So you know, I think you'll know. I think you'll know when Chloe's ready, and then Pilar will be ready right after that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because she's gonna watch her sister.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Okay.
I would say probably I don't know. I don't know. I again I don't know how to answer that question.
No, okay, that's fair. That's fair. You know what, man? I would have to ride with Tom, man. As far as between him and Bill. I mean, I don't fault Tom for leaving.
I don't fault Tom for leaving one bit,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm Team Belichick.
Okay. All
I
right.
I think that they did it together. Like I don't think Tom Brady is Tom Brady without Belichick. I don't think Belichick's Belichick without Tom Brady. Does that make sense?
Well, at least we have a sample size for 1 year. Brady went. Brady
Time
went to
out.
the
Time
Brady.
out. Time out.
Brady. Brady went to
Time out. Time out.
the.
Uh, Prior to Belichick's tutelage, Tom Brady was not Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady was the perfect specimen with the perfect attitude to take on Bill Belichick's teaching. And I think Bill Belichick was the perfect coach to get the best out of Tom Brady. You don't remember early on how little Tom Brady actually did on the football field. He won. He won.
Mhm.
He won like 10 straight games, but it was basically dinking and dunking to Jermaine Wiggins, and just like he never threw the ball downfield to the point where Bledsoe, like when Bledsoe, like when all of a sudden they needed to win a game in Pittsburgh, they brought Bledsoe in at the end.
Yeah, I
Bledsoe
remember
came in to
that.
win
It
like when
that was
they
the
needed to
championship
come
game.
back,
Yeah.
Bledsoe went in for two drives. Because
Right.
Brady didn't have that in him, and then he didn't for like it was all like system quarterback. But he worked so hard with a head coach that was with him his whole career, essentially three offensive coordinators that had the same style. Charlie Weiss, Bill O'Brien, McDaniels. Like they were teaching, they were all the same guys. Um, and Brady became one of the best, probably the
He's the most accomplished
The
quarterback in
most
NFL history.
accomplished quarterback in the history of the NFL. Talent wise, maybe not, stuff like that. But what he has done with his tools, the dude couldn't even start in college. Like, even in college, people were like,
Yeah, like, have you seen his draft pictures? I mean, he actually looked like you prior to CrossFit.
prior, yeah. And then, yeah, yeah, love handles, and this was a mess. Did you see his 40 time? Like, that dude's arms was flapping around while he was
So
running.
uncoordinated, yeah.
It's so uncoordinated. So Brady worked his ass off. Belichick was the perfect person to get the best out of him, and Brady was the perfect quarterback for Belichick. Does that make sense?
And also, he was the perfect company man because he kept giving them discounts. He kept fucking up the quarterback market.
So, and well, not just fucking up the quarterback market, but by him doing that, we never lost depth.
You're right. Exactly. Right. Right.
So I think for Brady, winning was one of the most, because he was going to go get his Uggs money, and he's married to Giselle. So like,
right.
he had money. For him, it was like, we're winning. I'll take this pay cut. And then all of a sudden, like, the Patriots lose 2 offensive linemen. Guess what? We have 2 more guys to play. The Patriots lose a safety. Guess what? There's somebody coming in and playing. Some other teams don't have that luxury. Like, you lose a specific spot, you're toast. Now you're playing guys who are just like, quarterbacks are picking on in the secondary and stuff like that. So I think that Belichick and Brady were perfect for each other. And I don't think while they were together, you could pick one or the other. Does that make sense?
I understand where you're getting at, but I'm still riding with Tom. I'm still riding with him to the
Very
end.
understandable.
And honestly, I hope he wins his 7th ring, because I want him to prove that he can win without Belichick.
Lincoln, you could win a quarterback. You could win a Super Bowl. You would have a chance to win a Super Bowl with Godwin, Mike Evans, Gronk, Antonio Brown, the plethora of running backs they have out there. That's a good stable of weapons.
It's physically impossible for me to win a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers.
I know it is. I've seen you throw.
not because of my throwing ability. It's just that I can't see over those 6'7" trees. I mean, I really can't throw the ball. I would have to hand it off to one of the running backs and hope that they just take it to the house.
And they have good running backs.
Right. But I mean, but in this league, you have to throw the ball, and I can't throw the ball 60 yards to Mike Evans.
No, you're right. I just said I was proving a point.
Right.
Brady has got the best stable of weapons he's ever had, past that 1 year with Wes Walker and Randy Moss.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He was.
And that year, that record-breaking year with Wes Walker and Randy Moss, that's probably comparable to what he has right now. He has more stuff to throw to right now.
Right. Everything is kind of spread out now.
That 1 year with Moss and Walker, Moss ran deep, Walker ran across. Brady just, which one am I throwing to?
Right.
And the defensive backs couldn't quite figure out how to stop it that one year.
Right.
So,
I mean, to me, Brady was the perfect check down Charlie.
Yes.
He mastered that whole concept of dinking and dunking. I mean, Mitch Trubisky is literally Tom Brady without the Super Bowl rings and without Belichick. That's what Tom Brady would have been his whole career, was Mitch Trubisky.
Correct. Right? But Trubisky can run a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. Brady is a check down quarterback who can't fucking run. You know what I'm saying? Like, that. And we went back to the one thing I said about Tomlin and Pete Carroll and stuff like that. There's something to be said about owners of franchises allowing quarterback or head coaches and quarterback coaches and offensive coordinators to have a down year, because Pittsburgh's had a couple of years where they were great, and Seattle had a couple of years that they weren't great, and the Giants under Coughlin had
and that was mostly because of injuries.
But I'm saying, like, but the owners of those franchises didn't say you're gone.
Right.
Like, they were able to come, like Coughlin with the Giants had horrendous years, yet he was able to come back, and then bad years, and it was a comeback. But would you say the Bears head coaches have had long ropes?
You know what? If Trubisky,
I'm not just saying this head coach. Lovie Smith was there for a while.
You know what? When he got fired, I think he got fired after he won 11 games that year.
But how many offensive coordinators did Jay Cutler have?
He had,
I feel
Mike
like
Martz, Adam Gase, and like a couple other names. I'm not
as a outside observer. What Cutler plays? 6 years with the Bears.
I want to around 6. Yeah,
so 6 years with the Bears. You named 2 and then said a couple others. That guy went through a different offensive coordinator almost every single year. Maybe exaggerating a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's something to be said about programs that keep guys in position.
Oh yeah, you need that stability. Oh yeah, Aaron Cromer as well.
Yeah, so like I said, but every year Cutler wasn't a horrible quarterback.
And he had his most success under Adam Gase.
Yes, and that's when we talked about the Patriots' next quarterback. I heard a rumor that Gase and Darnold might be.
I don't think Darnold is good.
What?
I don't think Darnold is that good.
Give me of the 32 quarterbacks in the NFL, without looking at your little computer, where would you?
I'm not looking at anything.
I don't know. Sorry. Out of 32 quarterbacks in the NFL, where would you rank Darnold?
This is 32 teams, right?
Yep. Josh Allen's better.
I would say 28 or 29.
28 or 29.
Yes.
Are better than Darnold.
Yes. Off the top of my head, I can name 15. I can name half the league.
Okay. I probably don't agree with you, but
okay. So what would you rank him?
Middle of the road without weapons or good opportunities.
As far as weapons, he had decent weapons. He got decent. He has Crowder.
Cotry.
Huh?
Wasn't Jericho Cotry like his top receiver for like 3 years?
You talking about 10 years ago? I haven't heard that name in years, man. Jericho Cotry. I mean, he was a good possession receiver.
I remember.
Yeah. I remember.
Bad Le'Veon Bell.
That was more the scheme. That was more the scheme, and plus he missed a year of football.
Huh?
I'm saying he missed a whole year of football.
Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, he missed a year, and then he went to the worst team of the league, where like Darnold was so bad, all you got to do is stack the box. So there was no lanes for Le'Veon.
Give me 1 second. I'm looking something up.
All right.
Keep talking, though.
All right. Okay, his weapons. He had Crowder.
You know what? I said Jericho Cotry. I meant Crowder.
Right, Crowder. I can't believe
almost on that bottle.
I can't believe you said Cotry though.
I did. I said Jericho Cotry, and you're like, I hadn't heard that name in a while. I'm like, wasn't he just playing? And then you said Crowder. I'm like, that's what.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to talk.
Yeah, Jamison Crowder, Denzel Mims, yeah, Brashard Perriman. Chris Herndon, he's actually a decent tight end, but they don't use him enough. They have Barrios, that slant guy.
Yeah, Barrios was cut by the Patriots.
Okay. Just because a player's cut by the Patriots doesn't mean that he's no good. I mean, maybe they were just being cheap. I
If
mean,
they're cut by if the Patriots have their receiving core and he was cut by the Patriots, he's not a good quarterback.
I believe they got Chris Hogan as well.
I thought he was with the Bills. Oh, I think you're right. So he
Yeah,
was also with the Patriots.
yeah. I mean, he had players to like throw the ball to, but if he's a middle of the road quarterback, he should have been responsible for at least winning them a game or two. But they end up going what 2-14.
Yep. Okay. This quick little list I'm looking at is the quarterbacks that started week 17. So it's not fully. It's not the. They have them at.
I'll give you a prime example. Ryan Fitzpatrick and Tua are better than Darnold, and those two quarterbacks on the same team.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is good for 4 games.
Yeah.
And Tua is going to lose his job.
Ooh. Yeah, but they gave up a lot.
Tua was horrible for 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, while the Dolphins had a playoff shot, I think Flores saw enough there to realize that Tua is not Kyler Murray. You know what I'm saying? He's not that next franchise guy.
Well, before I cut bait on Tua, I would allow him to have a full training camp. If
Absolutely.
he improves,
and that was so. I'm going to go back to my argument about who's the quarterback of the Patriots next year.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather them have Cam Newton with a season under the Patriots under his belt, and then an actual offseason and a preseason with the Patriots. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because we signed Cam Newton late. Okay. And like he didn't have he didn't have an off season with the Patriots. They basically handed him a playbook and then he showed up.
Right, because y'all playbook is written in Chinese.
Let's see. Is that a craft Asian parlor joke?
No. for some reason, the like the black players can't grasp that playbook. I mean, is it like racially biased or what?
That is not true. That's not true. Deion Branch was an amazing receiver underneath that program. Troy Brown, David Patton, like we had good white and black receivers under that program. So I don't think that that's true.
Because Chad Johnson, he's a borderline Hall of Famer, but for some reason he couldn't get the playbook.
Because he's been 8 years in the league. It would be the exact same thing if the Patriots. They're like, Patriots are going to trade for AJ Green. I'm like, I don't want AJ Green. He's been in the league 8 years, 9 years under the exact same system.
Mm-hmm.
We played this game before. We played it with Reggie Wayne. We played it with Chad Ochocinco. Like we played it with who was that tall white guy from Denver?
Is it recent?
It was about 4 years ago, but he was at the end of his career. We brought him in and cut him.
Decker,
Eric Decker.
Decker was there?
Yeah, Decker went through a preseason with us, and then we cut him. So it's like we've played.
Y'all had Torrey Holt.
We've played this game before. AJ Green is another one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Just I've been in the same system for so long. I don't want to change.
Now,
I
Danny Amendola, he was with the Rams for a while, so he was one of those quote unquote older receivers. But when he got to the Patriots, he stuck around. I mean, is it because he's white and he got the playbook?
I think that
It's funny how I'm just watching you like wrestle through these racial questions.
I'm like I'm a bottle of wine in. I'm like I absolutely love you to death, Lincoln, and I'm just like, Kurt, you need to be careful of what you're saying right now because it's not you and Lincoln in a car talking shit. You're gonna put this on. You're gonna put this on. I don't think that's the case. I think Danny Amendola just happened to fit into that mold of like I said, the Deion Branches, the Troy Browns, the Wes Walkers, the Julian Edelmans, the Danny Amendola. Like, I think it's just those dudes. Like, Wes Walker is brain dead from the amount of hits he took going over the middle. For the New England Patriots.
Is he? Because he's a coach with the 49ers.
Have you listened to him talk? He was the guy who got busted for smoking crack at the Kentucky Derby. Look that up.
Smoking he was like, crack.
It might have Molly. It was Molly. He was fucking doing Molly at the Kentucky Derby, throwing stacks of freaking cash at people in a crazy ass suit.
Okay. Now, did he get busted over PEDs as well?
He got busted for PEDs, and he is the reason we lost the Super Bowl because he couldn't freaking catch a ball. But
I wouldn't blame him just because of one play. I mean, Brady threw picks. He took a safety. I mean, I wouldn't boil it down just to that one play because y'all lost the Super Bowl. Because remember, Giselle said he can't throw the ball and catch the ball. She was pissed.
Well, and that one trick play against Philly, I think we proved that he couldn't catch the ball either.
Right. Exactly. Actually, so many memes came out after that.
Oh my goodness gracious! Yeah. That was like it was a perfect pass, and he just like short armed it, and it fell right in front of him. But anyways, yeah. I don't think it is a racial thing when it comes to picking up the Patriots playbook. I don't. Okay. I think it is I think that Bill Belichick has been able to get guys who are playing special teams for other teams. Like they're no longer like, I don't know. Jacoby Myers was a quarterback in college, wasn't he?
I don't know.
He was like a quarterback at some point, like no chance to make in the NFL. And the Patriots picked him up, and like he just went out and like he grinded and he worked his ass up.
So why did the Patriots make a black quarterback change his position?
You talking about Myers?
Yeah.
I don't know. He made fucking Edelman change his position.
I was hoping that you didn't bring that up. I was just fucking with you.
Yeah, Edelman was a quarterback in college. Where he made him be like, what? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you know what, Edelman is a mystery of like how much success that he's had in the league, and I mean, he's not a big guy. No. He take big hits,
and that's what.
And he's a hard worker.
Wes Walker was the same way. Troy Brown was the same way. Deion Branch was the same way. They were the guys that were going to catch that ball no matter how bad their head was going to get taken off.
Right.
And like where Reggie Wayne wasn't going to do that at that point in his career with the Patriots.
I mean, Randy Moss wasn't going to do it. All he did was go routes.
Yes. And he was great at it.
Right.
And I still remember Randy Moss one time. I was listening to like the pregame show, and he goes, "My one regret is complaining about being a Patriot." Because the second that Randy Moss said, I'm a decoy. The Patriots trade. Like he goes, I was playing in Oakland the next week. You know, like I loved Randy Moss. He might have been the best receiver in the history of the NFL.
He's actually saying it out loud because
he is saying it.
Yeah, did you hear his
he's
interview
saying
with T.O.?
He's saying he's the best.
Yes, he did.
I think there's a conversation to be had for about 3 receivers to be the best in the history of the NFL, and he's the best.
Okay, obviously Jerry, Randy, and who else?
I was throwing a 3rd receiver in there just to be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you were drafting a team right now with those 2 receivers in their prime, who'd you take, Moss or Jerry Rice?
Jerry did everything.
I understand. Totally understand. So you're going Jerry Rice over Randy Moss?
Yeah, because you can make Randy Moss disappear.
Randy Moss could make Randy Moss disappear.
Yes.
You couldn't make Randy Moss made the best defensive back in the NFL at the time fake a hamstring injury.
Oh, with the one-handed catch. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, yes. Like got burned.
Revis.
Revis. Yeah. He burned Revis. And then Revis like held onto his hammy.
I remember.
Like but then Randy had games that he took off. I'll get Jerry Rice never took a game off.
Right. I mean, Moss is not going to block for the run game like Jerry did. He's not going to run through them. Right. He's not going to run up the middle and catch that critical, 3rd down pass in which he knows that he's going to get popped if he was to catch that right in the middle. Jerry was willing to do every single thing that you need him to do. He didn't have the speed as Randy Moss, but he had the heart, the will, the ability to win. I mean, he just showed up everywhere he went.
Deceptive speed. Like Jerry Rice was not fast, yet there's videos of him running away from people.
He had game time speed, but he didn't have that combine type of speed. But
I will agree and disagree with you at the same time. I'm biased with Randy Moss because I watched him for 3 seasons with the Patriots. I watched him in Minnesota just like be amazing. I love that ESPN 30 for 30 Rand U. Like, so I'm probably a little biased towards Moss over Jerry Rice.
I love Moss. I love him.
But you make you're right. Jerry Rice, Randy Moss.
All right.
But is there any other one?
I mean, whoever you pick, you won't be wrong at all.
Correct.
You won't be wrong. But as far as a close or distant third, I mean, you got he's a small guy, but Marvin Harrison, as long as he has Peyton Manning as his quarterback.
How long did Marvin play? Was he
how long did he play? I think he played around 2 years.
I don't feel like it was like a super long time.
Oh, I would have to look that up. I mean, what would you rank T.O.? T.O. just had a big mouth.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question too. Like, and T.O. played for a lot of different teams, so you couldn't really like. I don't know. That's like that one catch in San Francisco over the middle, like for the touchdown. That was probably one of the prettier catches you've ever seen on a highlight reel.
You know 96 to 08. So he played 12 years. I mean, for a small wide receiver, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. As far as new school receivers, I mean Hopkins is up there. Antonio Brown is pretty much up there. I mean, you can't count out Larry Fitzgerald, even though they're like the way we see Larry right now is not the Larry Fitzgerald
That's not the
like
Larry.
8 years ago.
You're absolutely right. Larry Fitzgerald 8 years ago was great.
Right. Yeah. So
Trying to think. I don't know if there's another one. Steve Largent. Did you ever see him play?
no, no. Oh, you know what? Michael Irvin.
Was his career long enough?
I don't think so, but
'Cause I think
everything was kind of compacted between like what's that 90 to like 96, 97. So
was 97 the year he got busted for cocaine.
yeah,
No,
some
no.
yeah, something like that. Wearing the fur coat.
Which I don't have any problem with that.
Yeah, I have no. Hey, I
But at
mean,
that time, like Lawrence Taylor was probably in the room right beside him, and
yeah, yeah, man.
I I don't know. My brain says Steve Largent only because I felt like he played forever. So I don't know if he's got that Emmett Smith type thing.
Okay,
Like how Emmett Smith is
yeah,
his like statistically the best running back of all time. Yet me and
yeah,
you could probably list off 12 running backs better than him
yeah. Of
right
course,
now.
of course.
But I just
I
remember
mean,
Steve Largent was there for a long time in Seattle.
you got Tim Brown.
I like Tim Brown. Right.
Yeah, yeah, Tim Brown.
But Tim Brown or Moss and Jerry Rice. You know what I'm saying? Like you did say distant third. I you did say trying to
Yeah,
find a distant third. Andre Reed.
yeah, Jay Reed. Yeah.
He was good for a lot of years.
Oh man,
Yeah, there's not
Chris Carter. He's a Hall of Famer, but I mean, I still want to put him in that type of ballpark though.
right. Lynn Swan, but he was
Yeah,
before both of us.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I don't know if he made the Hall of Fame because of that one catch. Like
yeah.
on film. Um, Yeah, I don't know. And then receivers is one of those positions that it's hard to rank all time because receivers not like running back. Like running backs, you got those running backs from like the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Those guys got carries every single game. Where the receivers is kind of like the passing game has developed over time. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like so a lot of those old receivers from way back in the day did not get the amount of passes past them as the receivers do now.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could name like a good 10, like as far as distant thirds. I mean, you still got to put Terry Holden, Isaac Bruce in there.
Isaac Bruce had a longer career.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Um, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of, but we're also naming people who have played in the NFL the last 15 years.
I mean, I've been watching football since 1990.
1990. I've been
Yeah.
the first. It's going to age me. I still remember the first season I remember watching football. Now, I grew up watching football with my dad, but I don't remember it. The first season I remember was the 85 season. Fucking Bears.
You know what? I had no idea what was going on during that time because I was like 5 years old when they
Yeah,
won the Super Bowl.
I was 10.
Okay.
So
Okay.
and my family, they were all Giants fans.
Okay.
And I still remember that was the year that I said to my parents, I'm like, we cheer for the Red Sox, we cheer for the Celtics, we cheer for the Bruins. We hate the Yankees, we hate the Rangers, and we hate the Knicks. Why do we cheer for the Giants? And I remember my parents would be like, well, when we grew up, there was no Patriots. You know what I'm saying? The Giants was the only team that you could get on the radio. So I'm just like, screw it, I'm gonna be a Patriot fan. And then they actually, I think they were like 7-9. They were a wild card team. They're horrendous, and they made it to the Super Bowl. And I was like walking in school. I'm like, woohoo! And then I watched the Super Bowl.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, we had the lead.
Oh, for how long?
Uh, 7 seconds, I think. Irving Fryer caught one from Tony Eason in the corner to score a touchdown. And
Yeah, y'all just pissed him off then, huh?
that's it. That's it.
Oh
And
man.
I heard that was the thing. I heard about the Bears, but there was no Sunday ticket. There was no nothing back then. It was like
Oh yeah.
what you watched on TV. And like here with you this it was like you either get the Packers or the Bears. Back then it was back home, it was the Patriots or the Giants. And the
Right.
Giants was also always the good game. The Patriots was always like the sketchy broadcast that nobody paid attention to.
And it's not like back then, like the highlights wasn't really state of the art. Like if you wanted to get some type of context of how the game went, you had to read the newspaper
Right.
and kind of like imagine how things kind of played out. But like everything is kind of given to you right now.
Yeah.
So
Well, my
it's
dad,
crazy.
I still remember my dad was in a fantasy football league. Maybe not that year, but I remember when
They
he
did
started.
everything by hand, huh?
Well, everything was by hand. They only did touchdowns. So a touchdown throw was 3, a touchdown catch was 3, a touchdown run was 6, a field goal was 3, and an extra point was 1. That's it.
Wow. No,
And
no
so
PPR, no
no
nothing.
PBR. So and there was no head-to-head matchups or anything like that. It was just basically like everybody drafted a quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers. There was no tight end position, 3 receivers and a kicker. That was
Right.
it. I still remember like going to the drafts, and they were already done drafting before, like like so like you're like as a little kid, like you got like the second piece of pizza in your mouth, and your dad's like, "Okay, draft's over," like yeah. So it was then that was it, and then the games would end. You wouldn't know how you did. You would know how you did, but you didn't know how you did for the week until Steve Elliott, the commissioner of the league, went and sent out like there wasn't even email back then. I don't remember. Oh,
No, no email.
yeah, you used to get the results in the mail on like Wednesday.
Oh
And it would
wow.
be like Dale Tinkham scored 64 points this week. He won the week. Bruce Nelson, like it would rank the 12 things. And then like at the end of the year, you won the.
Dude, we are so spoiled. I mean, I could watch Red Zone and get the results instantaneously on my phone.
Dude, I can take a 30-minute nap and then go, cool. And then take another nap on the couch. Yeah. So I
Oh
still remember,
man.
like, I remember Wednesday, my dad be like, anybody check the mail? And it was a thing, like you got the envelope in the mail and you open it up, and that the weekly stats were there. And like, oh, and they didn't even you didn't draft a kicker, you drafted a team kicker. So you drafted
Oh, okay.
Indy kicker. Because like
Okay.
back then, nobody, like, I don't know, there was like 3 kickers who kicked
Oh, okay.
every week.
Yeah.
So it was.
I swear this story is like a Flintstone story. I mean, it is so ancient how things kind of operated back then.
Oh, and here's another thing. You could only make a move after 1 week, the 4th week, the 8th week, and then the 12th.
There was no waiver, no waiver wire.
There was 1 move that you could make, and you had to mail it back. So like you mailed it back. So you didn't even know if you got your move until Wednesday of the next week when the stats came out that showed you your team.
Oh man, that is so crazy, man.
Yeah, I do. I still remember
Oh,
like draft night at Steve Elliott's house. Like everybody, all the kids would show up, and we would be like, "Woo!" And then it was like almost 45 minutes later. Let's go, kiddos.
I mean, doing our drafts, our smoke breaks is 45 minutes.
Yeah, and that what's fucked up is there's only like 3 people smoking the league.
No, it's like I think half the league smokes. Okay, because you got me, I vape.
You vape. Is that? But you vape.
Ben,
You vape in the. Oh, Ben smokes.
he smokes. If he's drinking, I think.
Yeah, Sexton's the same way. Sexton smokes when he's drinking.
Yeah.
So you're probably right. You're probably like I would have said Vitek.
Yeah, Vitek. Yeah,
For me personally, Vitek was probably the only one in the league who smokes. But
yeah,
you're probably right. About half the league when they're drinking.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. But yeah, man. Hey, I love our league. I just need to start winning so I can start appreciating more.
you need to pay attention.
Yeah,
You need
yeah.
to like stop showing up to the draft and opening the first, like looking at it the first time ever. Because you've been, did I tell you what Erdman said about you?
No.
So Erdman was talking to me and he goes, I refuse to believe that Lincoln was good at fantasy football one time. And I was just like,
I can't believe you said
what?
that.
Yeah, he did. I'm like, he won leagues. He was in. He had draft boards. I've seen pictures of his draft boards. And he goes, I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it. Right? It's been so bad for so many years that he's been in the league. So,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Wow. I mean,
Well,
I gotta blame my kids, man. I gotta blame them.
yeah, you're the Black Kenny.
Oh, oh.
At least you're not Parker.
Well,
You're getting there. You're getting there.
I wasn't lying when I said that I'm gonna send everybody a copy of my bachelor's degree.
Dude, you can take, so we were talking about it. God damn. Hold on. We were talking about it. You can actually take the SATs online and not pay. And what we're probably going to do is next draft, we'll just start a little bit earlier and make you take it during the draft.
Okay, so how long is the test then?
Well, so the online one is like, you don't have to. So the SAT test is, they say it's about 4 hours, but they give you 40-minute breaks. So you take this portion, then you get a break. You wouldn't have to take those 40-minute breaks. Like it would be a timed thing, but it would spit out your results.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
so you
Okay.
wouldn't have to actually go sign up. So that's what Erdman's like. I'll make a brisket. We'll like do this whole thing. Lincoln will take his SATs.
Like I would have to take it like in front of y'all.
Absolutely. You
I mean,
have to, Lincoln.
it's just gonna be
Don't
so
get,
much shit going on in the background.
who cares? Who cares? You could go to the thing and take it.
Mm. You know what? Just for shits and giggles, I mean, I'll go ahead and do it. I mean, it's not a big deal. I
You
mean, you
can
know
actually
what?
do, you can
Oh,
do it like at your home. Like it's just basically online SATs. And it's just a practice one. Like you're not actually signing up for it.
oh yeah. Okay.
Practice one.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think any of us would do well.
If I end up being a genius, that I'd be ashamed that I'm pretty much in the same position as y'all as you know, working ATC. But if I'm a shitty scorer, then I'd say, you know what? I'm here with the rest of y'all anyway.
So if you were a genius, what would you do that paid you more than doing doing ATC?
If I was a genius, what would I do?
Gave you more time off over the course of the year and allowed you to retire at 50 years old.
I can't
With
think of any. I can't think of any other gig because we work the sweetest gig.
we do.
We do. We do.
On the dating market, I'm like, I can retire at 50. I'm like, oh, what'd you do? I'm like, I flunked out of college. You know, I panicked and joined the military, and then they said, you're going to be an air traffic controller.
Wow.
And that's it. You know, I didn't plan correctly. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, I feel blessed to be in this position, and I
so
mean, this podcast is almost a year old, and I mean, man, dude, it is so much like money out there as far as like you know, like with YouTube. So this is fairly new. So like, hopefully, this gets bigger
are you
and
making money?
oh no. I mean, right now I'm grinding. I'm totally
I do.
grinding. Yeah. But I mean, it's fun. I kind of like learning like a new skill as far as like post production, video editing, and you know, sound effects and shit like that. So you know, and plus I bought a drone. I wanted to start learning that because you know, I wanted to go downtown and get some real live shots of like
Right.
like the sports stadiums and stuff, because I wanted to kind of clue that in my intro. But being
So
at being at Pilar's not in school, I'm kind of handcuffed to the house because I mean I
you
can't do
are,
anything. So
especially with
yeah,
COVID, like
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, like even if without COVID, you could take your kids to a spot downtown, be like, we're getting ice cream and a hot dog, and
hmm,
daddy's gonna just fly this thing over here for a second. But
right,
now you can't
right.
even do that. Like I would like Emily brought the kids to the Dells this last weekend. She asked me, she goes, "Can I bring the kids to the Dells?" I'm like, they gotta get out of the house. Go. I trust you. I trust that you, and then she texted me and she goes, I can't believe how many people are here without masks.
Oh,
And I'm just like,
it's Wisconsin.
yep, yeah. I'm like, Emily, I brought the kids to Lake Geneva this summer. It was the same thing. Like you could walk down the streets and everybody with a mask was Illinois. You're just like,
No,
dude, it was kind of like the Corvette people. You wave at the
yeah,
like people with a Corvette wave at other people with Corvettes.
yeah.
That's how like the Illinois people were like, you know. Um,
Oh wow.
but yeah, no, COVID. It's trying to be responsible during this time has been tough on a lot of people.
Oh
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah.
and then as soon as you sit there and say to yourself, we're overreacting, somebody you know's parent or older brother ends up on a ventilator and dies of COVID. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm Dallas Twerkgate.
Yeah.
Uh,
Did you see the viral video in which there was this restaurant in Dallas in which he told these women to stop twerking?
no,
Oh yeah, it was a big thing about a month ago. Yeah, it was huge. Just as far as Black YouTube, I mean, it would just say
who
like one of
doesn't want
them.
to see a girl twerking?
Hmm?
Who
So
doesn't want to see a girl twerking?
well, the thing was, she was standing on this furniture and leaning on glass.
What type of restaurant?
It was more of a well, semi upscale.
Okay.
Like it was like a comfort food type of restaurant.
What time of the day?
I would imagine it was probably you know what, it was during brunch.
Okay, that might be a little weird.
And you know what, they have a DJ in the restaurant. So basically he went over there 3 times to like tell him to stop twerking, like stop standing on his furniture and twerking while like against the glass. Being that they ignored him, he basically had it, and he did like a public announcement to the restaurant like hey, I opened up this restaurant because I wanted to open up,
So
like
this was the owner.
the owner.
Ask. Okay. Okay.
Right. So he basically was just saying, hey, I opened up this restaurant because I wanted to have a place for my people to come and eat. And if you're gonna twerk, then get the fuck out of my restaurant. So I mean, you'll have to see the video, but he was on TMZ and everything
What was the backlash?
because they said that because he cursed and because he talked to women that way, that's why he, kind of like, was like being talked down to as far as from the mainstream media.
But I am
I'll find that video for you
okay.
and I will text it to you.
So you know me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of ignorant, yet I feel like I love everybody. Right? Would you say that? Like,
Yeah.
regardless of sexual orientation, religious preference, like male, female, black, Mexican, whatever, stuff like that. Not always politically correct,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I,
You
I,
you have great intentions, so and that's the main thing.
I so knowing that about me, I don't know why that restaurant owner is getting crap.
Oh yeah, I mean, I agree with him.
Okay. Yeah,
I
okay.
agree.
So I wanted to I'm like, it's his place of business.
Right.
He's asking people to stop twerking. Like if it was 2:30 in the morning at a Waffle House, like outside of a bar area, and everybody in the place is hammered, and these two girls start twerking. Like it's whatever. Like there's probably some dude puking in the corner, and there's I don't know why that guy would get shit for asking these people to stop twerking.
I mean, I totally get it because, like, from his standpoint, but he's a lawyer by trade, so he has his own law firm. So he's a very successful brother. So he was probably just looking at it from like a legal standpoint, because if they was to fall through the glass, then it's a lawsuit upon him. And plus, like, doing this whole public service announcement, he stated how he like put like $1 million into the restaurant. So by him putting so much money into the restaurant during a pandemic, I mean, he's taking a big risk.
So he's got to take into account the other customers that are there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. He talked about how his mom and his grandmother also go to the restaurant. So he just didn't want that type of behavior at his restaurant.
There's 50% of America that would like sit there and see two girls twerking at a restaurant and be like, there's two girls twerking. And then there's 50% of America who would be like, that's inappropriate. And you have to appease those people if you're running a business. And when I say 50%, I'm just throwing numbers out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But like, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand what the scandal was there.
Yeah. I mean, anybody with a brain understand the concept, but being that the media is pretty much kind of catered towards women, they're going to always try to take the women's side. So you can't have like a patriarchal, masculine man talking down on women today, because it'll be a backlash. But I say fuck them. Somebody got to tell the truth.
Well, I did you watch that 2020 thing on Netflix? Samuel L. Jackson is it's a brand new thing on Netflix. Samuel L. Jackson's narrating it, and there's like comedians playing the part of scientists and stuff like that. So it's kind of a comedic thing.
What's the name of it?
2020.
Oh no, I haven't seen it.
It just came out.
Okay.
And so it's essentially a year in review of 2020, starting in January, everything is good, and then all of a sudden Australia's burning, and then there's
I forgot about Australia. Yeah, okay.
And the World War III that almost happened. It's like there was so much stuff that happened in the beginning of the year that they're talking about. I'm like, oh shit, I remember that. I remember there was almost a nuclear war in March.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So, but it's like comics and actors playing the part of scientists and stuff like that. But
I got to see this thing then.
Yeah, but there's this one lady. She's like a psychologist or sociologist or whatever it is. I don't know the exact wording of all those different sciences, but she's talking and she goes, she's basically like, I fucking hate people. She goes, and that's the problem, because I'm supposed to like help people, but I fucking hate people. She goes, half the country is weirdos who believe anything you tell them. And the other half of the country is a bunch of, and it's a black female saying this, the other half of the country is a bunch of pussies who try and cancel anybody and everybody who try and like be okay. Like anybody who says anything, like, yeah, like when you said that about why can't black wide receivers figure out the Patriots playbook. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
You see,
I'm
you
just
see,
like,
I can say that.
right. And if I didn't see this little button saying recording right now,
Yeah.
I would make a joke, you know. But I'm like, I'm gonna,
Wow.
you're like my best friend in Chicago, and I'm like still sitting there going, recording, you know, like I'm
Oh man.
90% sure I could sit around a table with you, Nelly, and Eric,
Oh yeah.
make a
Yeah.
joke, and you
Mm.
guys would all appreciate it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
100% sure everybody who would listen to your podcast would appreciate a 45-year-old dude who looks like me drinking a glass of wine. I've actually seen my eyes in the camera. I'm like, am I bloodshot already? Like cracking a joke about white receivers.
I mean, trust me. I mean, even my wife, she gets triggered over the titles of my videos.
Do you ever get a I actually told this story too about my invite to your wedding.
Okay.
Remember that?
Yeah.
When I was just like, I'm like, who the hell is Cassie and Robert? I'm like, who the hell is this? I didn't even. I'm like, fuck. And I was just like, uh, yeah, here's my address, 69 fuck off lane, stuff like that. And finally, like, she kept sending those emails inviting me to your wedding, and
uh,
finally, you're like, what the fuck, dude? Or was that? And I'm just like, oh, it's Robert Lincoln. You know, like I'm just like, yeah, I
I
actually
think
tell
at
that.
first it started out virtual, and then we ended up sending out like hard copy invites.
Yeah, because I kept getting the invite and I didn't
Yeah.
recognize,
Yeah.
like, it was Robert and
Because you called me Lincoln at work.
yeah, yeah.
So
And I I didn't put two and two together. So I thought it was just spam. I did.
oh
I'm like,
wow.
delete, and then I would get another one. Delete, unsubscribe, stop, and then I would get another one.
Oh
And
wow.
finally I'm just
Well,
like, hey, I don't know who you're trying to get a hold of, but it's not me. And they're like, oh, we're so sorry. And then yes, it is you. We would really like your information. I'm like,
actually, I think that was our wedding planner sending out all that stuff.
yes, it was. And she
Yeah.
kept coming back to me saying, no, I just talked to them and I do need your information. And I'm like, I'm not giving you my information. I do not know who these people are. And she goes, I really need your information. They're saying that you're. And then finally, I was just like,
Oh wow.
69, fuck off, Lane. Go fuck
This
yourself.
this is the first time I heard the story. It is crazy.
Oh, this is the first time you heard it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you called me finally when I sent that information, just totally blasting her. You called me like 3 minutes later, said, why are you giving my wedding planner a hard time? And I'm like, oh, Robert Lincoln. Like Osborne. I get it now. Yeah, Cassie, Osborne, and Robert. It's what the thing said. I'm like,
yeah, man. How you came out there, man? I mean, we would have had a blast though.
I
It
think
was nice.
so. Like most things, you didn't send that till after we bid leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
one of those things. Like had you sent it in September, I would
Mm-hmm.
have been like, all right, I'm gonna put this on my second round or third. Like
Oh
the
yeah.
first round's family shit for everybody. But
Yeah.
that would have been something I would have put in a round. But then you said it after we bid, and you know what it's
Yeah.
like. It's like trying to get off in the East area when you're working 6-day work weeks.
Oh yeah, yeah, I
It's
totally get it, and plus, like
I
a
would have
similar.
fun.
Oh
The
yeah.
only time I was a little uncomfortable at your mom's funeral.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I didn't
yeah. The
want to
whole.
be Lincoln. I did not want to be. I wanted to be so cool. I wanted to be like, I'm here. And I
Hmm.
was a little uncomfortable, especially when they called Brother Curtis Nelson to like, say a few words.
Yeah, for a second, I thought you volunteered
I was like, I
your
was
name or something.
so mad at you. I was just like, Lincoln's playing a joke at me at his
Wow,
mom's funeral.
wow.
And then the worst part about that, I was talking to Eric a little bit later. The worst part about that whole thing was there were people standing in the back. I had the whole pew to myself.
Mm.
There wasn't one person, and I'm just like, I'm here. I'm here.
Right.
I'm
I
like
mean,
not some
obviously, if you're there, then you
I'm
are
not
like
some dude who stumbled off the street.
right, right.
There are people standing in the back.
They
I
would
had
rather stand back there than
with
you're
me.
saying a
And
pew.
that was the
Yeah.
only thing. I'm like, I understand. I didn't. That wasn't like a spot where I would ever find myself in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
not trying to talk shit about anybody's neighborhood or anything like that, but I have a few relatives that you might be uncomfortable going to that part of the country. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like trailer park, like, like Confederate flags hanging outside their double wide trailers. Like, I, I think you would go if my mom would died and I had a funeral in that part of the country. But yeah, I don't know. It was the only time I think in my life where I was just like, I'm out of place.
Well, now if I happen to put myself in a situation, close to that, then I will likely troll those people and wear a Dukes of Hazard shirt.
No, I didn't know. I had absolutely no idea. I had no idea. I was in a suit. I wore a
Right.
suit for your mom's funeral. I like the last time I wore a suit was like my wedding, and like, yeah,
Yeah, it was shocking to see you in a suit because, like, I remember how you explained how you was in a suit when you went to court over that car thing,
yeah,
and how the court system kind of fucked you over.
yep.
I thought it was so unfortunate. I mean, you
I
you would think that we live in the greatest country on earth, and like our justice system is supposed to look out for the better man.
and it wasn't just me. There was like 6 of us.
Right.
Like we went there and we sat for 6 hours. What's up, baby? We sat for 6 hours only to let this kid get let off with a misdemeanor and a $200 fine to the courts. And like, I was lucky. I got court leave.
All right.
Other people like got babysitters and like missed work to
Right.
go because the court summoned them. And you can't just like not go when the court summoned you. You know what I'm saying? Like when the court says
Right.
you need to show up to this date. Yeah,
What's 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 so funny about our job is that if you had jury duty, right, you would get paid excuse leave, but the check that the court send you, you have to write that check back to the FAA, which I
oh
find
really?
kind of weird. Yeah.
I think the government knows that they never want me on jury duty, so I've never been
Uh,
asked.
I mean, I was just waiting. They never called me in. I mean, I was just an alternate, but yeah, I never got called in. I mean, I was just sitting there all day, literally from 9 a.m. up until like 4, and they let us go. I mean, I was never called in. So
Yep,
yeah,
I've never gotten that letter in the mail saying you got jury duty. Never.
I
You
think I
knew
had it
Spencer
three
Maker.
times.
You
Had it
knew
three
Spencer
times.
Maker's dad was on the Jeffrey Dahmer
Oh no,
jury. Yeah,
no.
Spencer Maker's dad was on the Jeffrey Dahmer jury.
Oh, interesting. Wow, wow. Got to ask him that one day when we're drunk.
Yeah,
Having some beer. I'm sure Fence will
they'd be like,
have.
oh geez, oh yeah, I remember that. Ooh.
Oh man. Hey man, hey, we've been on for over 2 hours, man. Hey, I appreciate this. I thought we were just gonna do maybe 30 minutes to just call it a night, but yeah, it was a good
We didn't
conversation, man.
talk.
Thanks for catching up.
We didn't talk much about Patriots.
You know what? I gotta make some magic and make sure I could get as much Patriots in there and have like a little sidebar conversation in there.
Yeah, just
So,
leave some of it out.
all right, cool, man. Thanks for coming by the Corner Store podcast. Hopefully, this is not gonna be your only visit. I still gotta invite Oni back again because we gotta talk about LeBron James because we had like a little
He's been
debate.
on this.
Yeah, Oni been on it.
Oh,
Oni's been on it.
I bet you he was an amazing guest.
Yeah, he was. He actually had notes and everything.
Now I feel like a loser.
No, it's all good. It's all
I went
good.
for the Snoop Dogg wine. That's what I did.
It's all good. I appreciate it, man. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Have a good night.
Love you,
All right, see ya. Love you. See ya.